There's something powerful about waking up at 5 a.m. to pray. It's not just about discipline, it's about alignment. Before the noise of the day, before the texts, the emails, the distractions, you get to sit in stillness with God. At 5 a.m., the world is quiet, but heaven is listening. It's in these early moments that God strengthens you, gives you clarity, and fills you with peace before the day even begins. It's not just about waking up early, it's about putting God first. And when you do that, everything else in your life starts to shift. God sees your sacrifice. He sees the mornings you get up even when you're tired. He sees the prayers you've prayed over and over again. And I want you to know, those prayers are not in vain. He's moving even when you don't see it yet. He's working even when it feels like nothing is changing. So don't stop. Keep showing up. Keep seeking Him. Because when you put God first, everything else starts to align. Think about it before your phone starts buzzing, before emails and responsibilities take over, before the weight of the day sets in, you're choosing to start in His presence. That alone will shift everything. Because when you seek God first, He goes before you. He clears paths you didn't even know were blocked. He gives you strength for battles you haven't even faced yet. He fills you with peace before stress has a chance to touch you. Waking up at 5 a.m. isn't just a routine, it's an act of faith. It's saying, God, I trust you enough to start my day with you. Before I step into my plans, I need to hear from you first. And when you do that, things begin to change. Your mind shifts, your heart aligns with His, and you start to see His hand moving in ways you never expected. So if you've been feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or like you need a fresh start, this is your sign to wake up and pray. The struggles they don't talk about. To make space for God before the world fills your mind with everything else. Because the ones who seek Him early will always find Him. And now let's take this moment to pray together. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this new day. I thank you for the person listening right now, for their heart, their faith, and their desire to seek you first. Lord, you see what they're carrying. You know the prayers they've prayed in secret, the things they're believing for. Lord, I pray for breakthrough in their life. I pray that doors begin to open, that opportunities begin to come, that the weight they've been carrying starts to lift. Let this be the season where they see your hand at work in ways they never expected. And God, as they continue to wake up and seek you, I pray that they feel your presence more deeply than ever before, that this early morning sacrifice becomes a place of peace, of revelation, and of transformation. When you wake up at 5 a.m. to pray, you're not just starting your day, you're setting the foundation for everything that follows. You're choosing to walk in faith instead of fear, in peace instead of stress, in trust instead of anxiety. And the truth is, God meets those who seek Him early. In Mark 1:35, even Jesus woke up while it was still dark to pray, not because He had to, but because He knew the power of being alone with the Father before anything else. So as you step into today, don't rush past this moment. Don't let distractions pull you away. Be still, listen, let God speak into your heart, because the more time you spend in His presence, the more clarity you'll have, the more peace you'll carry, and the more confident you'll be that no matter what happens today, you're walking with Him. Maybe you've been praying for an answer. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign. Maybe you're wondering if God even hears you. Let me remind you, He does. And He's already moving on your behalf. So keep showing up. Keep praying. Keep believing. Because your breakthrough is coming, and one day, you'll look back and see that every early morning prayer was worth it. Psalm 63:1 says, "O God, you are my God. Early will I seek you. My soul thirsts for you. My flesh longs for you in a dry and thirsty land where there is no water." When you wake up and pray at 5 a.m., you're telling God, before I step into my own plans, I want to align with yours. Before I carry my worries, I want to lay them at your feet. Before I listen to the world, I want to hear from you first. And when you do that, when you put Him first, things start to shift in your life. Anxiety loses its grip. Fear starts to fade. Doors begin to open. Because you're no longer walking in your own strength, but in His. But let's be honest, some days it's hard. Some days you wake up tired. Some days you don't feel like praying. Some days it feels like nothing is changing. But let me remind you of something. God sees your faithfulness. Even when you feel weak, even when you don't have the perfect words to say, even when all you can do is sit in silence, He sees you. He hears you. And He is moving, even when you don't see it yet. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good. For at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." So don't give up. Keep showing up. Keep seeking Him. Keep praying even when you don't feel like it, because the prayers you pray in private will bring blessings in public. The moments you spend with God now will shape the person you're becoming. And one day you'll look back and see, every early morning, every sacrifice, every moment of discipline was worth it. Listen, if you've been waking up at 5 a.m. to pray, don't stop. If you've been struggling to stay consistent, don't be discouraged. Every time you seek God, something shifts. Even when you can't see it, even when you don't feel it, your prayers are moving things in the spirit. Keep going, keep believing. Your breakthrough is closer than you think.